Well, hello boys and girls, and today we are doing yet another video of Gallarous Tutorials episode 2, with this being today's episode will involve the crafters of Gallarous, along with many of the different things they come with. So our first crafter is going to go with the Crimson Crafter, which is the first of many of the different crafters in Gallarous. There are 4 in total, one of which being in the beta of Gallarous and is not yet released. Along with this, we have many custom materials which will be gotten into in this video. Alright, so this is the Crimson Crafter. Each crafter has its own sort of special materials along with them. In this area is Kryptonite, which is a large part of what this Crimson Crafter is going to be used for by a normal player. When it comes to the crafters, their recipes are very simple. Let's take a look at myceliums, for example. Let's take out 1 mushroom, 1 red mushroom, and 1 dirt. Let's take them, go over to this crafter, and stick them in like so. Please, and as you see, I've made my ceiling. Please do note, the recipe has to be exactly as it is shown on the board. Otherwise, it will not craft. For instance, if I do the same thing, but I do this, this, and then this, it does not craft. But if I do it this way, it does craft, which is something good to note for later down the line. Along with this, these messages are everywhere in the areas, and as you can see, it has no sign on it because it is for the Crimson Crafter. Each crafter is defined by if it has a sign or not. If a recipe has no sign, like this one, it is for the Crimson Crafter. If a recipe has a sign that says, for use of Jungle Crafter, it is for the crafter in the Rotten Jungle we will get to here soon. And if it says Temple Crafter, it's for the crafter in the Temple of Insanity. Along with that, the Light Trials has a Light Crafter, which will have a similar gimmick, but that is not released yet, so we're not going to go into anything in the Light Trials as of this video. Anyways, as we continue on, we have the Jungle Crafter. As you see here, this is the area's special material, Jungleite. Something we can get into in a different tutorial video. And the Jungle Crafter functions very similar to the other one. For instance, if we do this, oops, I seem to have crafted moss carpet as on accident. We do this, which way did I put it? Alright, this is a bit of an awkward moment. But we'll just show that one for first. And that is similar to the Jungle Crafter. We can't really get into too much detail on it. However, I've come to the decision we will be talking about the materials around the end of this video. So our third and final crafter on Gallarous is the Temple Crafter, which goes down here into here, and this is the Temple Crafter. Similar to the others, has a recipe for Temple Crafter and similar other things. Temple Crafter is doesn't really have very many special recipes and is more weapon related to ancient type material. Anyways, now we can continue talking about some of the materials. In the Crimson War, as some of you know, Gallarous has custom materials in it. These custom materials are as followed: Kryptonite, Clockworks, Prismite, Jungleite, Ancientite, and Star Fragments. Those are the ones that are available in Gallarous as of right now. There are 5 custom materials coming out soon with the Light Trials, those being Energite, Naturite, Trillium, Colosseum, and Arcanium. And trust me, they are some very strange names. Anyways, continuing with this, the Crimson Crafters is Kryptonite, which Kryptonite can be crafted in bulk, similar to Jungleite. Ancientite is the only one that was never updated to that, but Ancientite's also the hardest out of all of them to get set up. So by getting Crimson Nilium, we would actually need 2 of each of these. We take, where is it? 2 pieces of redstone, 1 diamond, netherite scrap. This actually is a big part in Gallarous. Netherite scrap is a very, very valuable thing because of this. Alright, diamonds. Actually, I do believe I've forgotten my own recipe, so I may be a little off about this at first. And there we go. We have made Kryptonite. And Kryptonite is the second, well, technically it was at one point the best, but it is now the probably the worst of the custom materials. However, you'll find this out soon. Most custom materials, Jungleite, Ancientite, and what's the third one? Kryptonite. All you need blaze rods to make their tools, and their recipes are spread out throughout. For instance, the Sword of Insanity Fires is right here. Not Insanity Fires, just Sword of Insanity. But as you can see, that is how the the Kryptonite is made. I won't go into too much detail on everything, but I will say the Kryptonite is better than Netherite, but it is worse than maxed out enchanted Netherite. Now we get to another big part of the Crimson Crafter, fire extraction. As you can see here, this is a recipe for a very, very valuable stick, it seems. It seems you need a stick and 8 magma blocks to make it. And now you're probably questioning, why would a stick need that much just to craft one of it? And that's because it is a fire extractor. In Gallarous, there is a way to get literal fire by extracting fire from hot blocks, if that makes sense. So we put 1 stick and 8 magma blocks, and you get a fire extractor. Now, how a fire extractor works is you put a hot block, so something like a magma block, something hot, like anything really. You stick fire extractor there. It basically breaks it into 20 fire, 1 cobblestone, and you get your fire extractor back. This also works with soul items, and we can get some examples in here of different things. You take a soul lantern and a fire extractor, turns it into 8 iron nuggets, 10 soul fire, and a fire extractor. So then we put that back down, put the torch here, 5 fire, a fire extractor again, and 1 stick. A campfire will be made to make 25 fire, coal, and 2 wood, and you get it back obviously. And then similar to the soul torch, except it's going to give soul fire. And that's the basic tutorial for fire extraction. Literal fire is required to make the Flame Lord summon, so you're going to need to learn how to do this. And also soul items have a soul set to them. For instance, if I do that, you get soul armor is very good for its fire protection. Very highly recommended if you like getting into fire. And that concludes the tutorial for fire extracting. There's another book around here that explains it into more depth right there. So if it is needed, there is that just to show it off. Now we're going to keep this Kryptonite as well because we're going to need it for later. In fact, I should probably craft a second thing of it. Just let me... yes, I should actually do this. Because later down the line, Ancientite, which is the thing that's better than Jungleite, is going to require at least 2 stacks if you're going to make a bulk payload like the one I just did earlier. So if we go in here, we go put that. I forgot to get redstone. I'm very silly in this tutorial. Go here, 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 here. Alright, 2 stacks of kryptonite. And I may not want to do that to a full stack of iron. Alright. Now we go up to the jungle. The rotten jungle. This is also the recipe for kryptonite. The recipe for each one is in the area it's in, so you don't need to worry about that. Prismite and clockworks cannot be crafted. They are dropped from the clocksmith and the sea lord, respectively. I think it's easy to tell which one does which. Alright, so this is jungleite. Now the jungle crafter does not have some sort of fire extraction system. However, a lot of lush cave items can be crafted in the jungle crafter. Most of which I won't be covering just because it is a lot funner to go on the Easter egg hunt of finding the recipes than it is to just show off every single one. I'm only here to show off the important ones, not show off an entire game. We go here, we take 2 emeralds, 2 scutes, 2 diamonds, 1 netherite scrap, 1 credit. This is kryptonite, by the way. These signs will tell you if this means anything special, and that's a stat. That is kryptonite right there. So we're going to want to have that, along with 2 sets of jungle logs. Not too difficult to get. Then we stick the 2 diamonds, the 2 logs, 1 netherite scrap, 1 scute, 2 emeralds, and a stack of kryptonite, and we have ourselves jungleite. Similar to that, the jungle crafter, blaze rods are required to make jungleite items, tools. However, the armor is very good, and the armor is the next step up higher than anything else in Gallarous, as we'll take a deep dive real quick into what the crafters look like under them. This is all the commands. And we'll go into the special stash of jungleite that no one can get to because of the command blocks down there. And we go in, and we'll just show off real quick. We craft. As you can see, it has protection 6, making it 1 level higher than anything in normal vanilla Minecraft, meaning at this rate, if you have jungleite, you're going to be better than the average player. For instance, the jungleite boots, they're very similar in that regard. The jungleite helmet, also very similar in that regard. But yes, jungleite, as a fun fact too, for the longest time in Gallarous' history, was the best material. From version 1.1, this is just a mistake, so while I talk. And from version 1.1 of Gallarous all the way to version 1.5 was this the best set there was. Now we'll show off the other 2 sets. However, this is just going to be me going into the things to grab them, because if I do not do this, it is going... Actually, I could do this a lot easier if I just went under the other one to show this stuff off, because it's always a bit fun to show behind the scenes footage. And the Temple of Insanity is probably one of the coolest areas to see behind the scenes. So the Temple Crafter, this is Ancientite. This is one of the most expensive crafts in Gallarous. 2 diamonds, 1 stack of 1 kryptonite, 1 jungleite, 2 clockworks, 2 prismite. Clockworks and prismite are only dropped by the Sea Lord and the flame and the clocksmiths. Sea Lord is prismite, clocksmiths is clockworks. And if we go into here, we can go and grab this, place it, break it, grab all the stuff. I think we're missing a little bit. let's see, we need one more thing of clockworks, and we are golden. And just, there we go. Ain't no one stealing that. Now if we go into the crafter, we stick one clockwork, we stick the jungleite, another clockwork, the 2 prismites, netherite scrap, bam, bam, and we get ancientite, as seen. Now, there are bosses that will drop these special materials as well. Crimsonite is dropped from the Gas Queen, the Flame Lord, and the Clocksmiths, all respectively as well. The Jungleite is dropped by both Temple's Keep, the boss here, and the Rot, along with the Clocksmiths at their final level, making one Clocksmiths very, very good at grinding. However, they're a very long boss, meaning that there's other ways to get it, although there is a lot more availability from the Clocksmith boss from its loot. Anyways, Ancientite is the highest level material in Gallarous so far, as no other materials are out yet. However, it's not the best armor set, of course. There is a armor set higher than it, being the final bosses. But Ancientite is the highest level armor. Well, not highest level armor, highest level material. Like I said before, as you can see, it is a much higher tier from the common jungleite and other lesser levels. So we can go in here, take a look at these, and as you can see, all of them are like so. And as similar, you need blaze rods in order to craft tools. However, there are a lot of different recipes, a lot more recipe availability when it comes to Ancientite, which we can get into later. Now, there is one other thing that is to show for this, and that is the more hidden recipes of the Crimson Crafter. And this is going to require, I'm going to have to see what that is in a bit. But for now, alright. Alright, so, sorry about that. Now, a big part of it is sort of like a gardening part of the thing. Most of these recipes are hidden and are not easy to get or see, so it may be tough to find some of these, but they are there, and a lot of them are very, very special. So for instance, I believe it's sand and bone meal. I believe if you take a sand and you take bone meal, or the other way around, somewhere around this. I cannot completely remember, but yeah, I got 20 seeds out of that. It was this, I believe. Yep, and then something like this where you can make cactus with the thing. Other things include, I believe, putting a seed on crimson, I believe, makes something. It's been a while since I customized these, so most of my thoughts on these are pretty rusty and old, and I can't remember completely everything on them. But for the most part, I do know that a lot of these recipes do make something, and I cannot seem to get a bite on any of them. But anyways, this concludes the tutorial video for crafting in Gallarous. I hope you guys enjoyed, and enjoy the knowledge of the basic crafting of Gallarous.